Let's get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans by fans, with your hosts, Jessy Martin.
Because 90% of them are wrong. They're fucking wrong.
Max Taman.
You've got a plate of shit and you've got a bowl of shit. They're the same thing.
Scott Hartley.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah.
John Taman.
What the hell was I talking about?
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
And now, the world's worst podcast host, John Taman.
Well. Here we are on the last podcast of the season, it would seem. But and it's kind of interesting to see because usually there's a bigger number up there watching this right off the bat than there is right now. And I get it. A lot of people are depressed today, man. I couldn't listen to any Commanders talk today on the radio. I don't know about you. But I tell you what, before we go any further, let me go ahead and make our introductions here. Jesse's not here for the moment. He's got some things that he's got to take care of at work. Trust me, for anybody that's saying, he's being a pussy, trust me, Jesse wanted to come in here and talk about the game. So we might actually have a podcast on Friday just so Jesse can vent. Anyway, down below there on your, right below us there, making his 105th consecutive guest appearance here on the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, a man who was once described as short and middle-aged and paunchy in a local police bulletin, a man who can suck down an entire can of whipped cream in one breath. Yes, a true man of the people, Scott Hartley. Oh, I don't even have your video queued up. It's just that kind of thing. Amount of many odors.
I'm in that very amount of many odors, exactly. I'm in that very same hoodie as well from that video. So, yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's true. It is the same hoodie.
Here's one I prepared earlier, John.
How's about that? Yeah, Scott is ready for the show. How about that?
Absolutely.
All right, and just over here to my right, taking the place of Jesse today, is Max Taman, a man who sincerely hopes genetics will not affect his hairline. And as I am told that as a child, you once dreamed of being an astronaut. Is that true?
You were my dad. You should know.
I'm just going by what they give me. Was that right?
I don't remember.
No. Fired. All right. So, I mean, is there any point to getting on with the general bullshit section of the show here? Let's see who's in the chat real quick and say hello. Jordan says, hi. Hey, currently making Jesse food for this week so he doesn't take the loss out on me. Hey. The way to
Jordan,
a man's
can we
heart is
just
through his
get
stomach,
a few of the quotes of Jesse texts during the game? I think that would make us all
he
happy.
dipped out like at halftime. He didn't
No,
text
just
after
to
that.
her. Just to her.
I would no. I don't know.
Let's not go.
Anyway, congratulations to you and your team, Jordan. Enjoy the Super Bowl, even though we're all going to be pulling for you to lose. Although, honestly, this is like the Super Bowl of the Devils, right? Who do you want to win this?
Look, my intro
don't
sentence,
care.
it's a plate of shit and a bowl of shit. It's the same thing.
There you go. There you go. How quickly we shift from a God, I'm sick of the frickin' Patriots to God, I'm sick of the fucking Chiefs. Too well. All right, let's see here. Who else we got? We got Scott G says, hey, guys, how you doing, Scott? Scott's home microwaving a steak. Yeah, we're not going to let him live that one down. Oh, man. Saquon. I think I'm going to send a note to the good people at the Merriam-Webster Dictionary Company, and let's change the definition of Saquon to son of a bitch motherfucker. I hope you go home and fucking cry. Can we do that? Would that be a noun?
I mean, there's got to be someone that's worse off than us today on how we feel, and that is Joe Shane and John Mara. So, yeah, happy.
The Bills feel pretty bad. I mean, imagine,
They will do, yeah.
The Bills feel pretty bad. So I'll gain some happiness in saying that, okay, we feel bad, but the Bills feel worse. I'm that kind of a person. Oh, man. I said all week last week that I felt like it was just another regular season game. I was calm. And even though during the game I was not calm, I expected it. I didn't expect to get whomped that bad. But, the first play of the game when Saquon busted around the fucking left tackle, you just knew it. We'd seen this before.
For me, I got as soon as we had an 18-play drive that ended in a field goal, it was like, all right, this isn't looking good. And then, Saquon hits the 60 yards. But before he even busts loose, you see Dante Fowler read the play, try to get in the hole, and fall down.
No, he didn't try to get in the hole and fall down. What he did was he tried to get in the hole, and then he decided that the hole was past him, and he tried to spin out of the hole. But everything Dante Fowler does, he does. He tries to spin. You watch him. He tries to spin back out, and he runs right into fucking the linebacker. God damn it, my brain is
Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner. Thank you. Sorry, it's the end of my day, and that gets to be tiresome. But yeah, he spins out, and everything he does with his arms wide out, and he comes spinning out from the back of it, and he runs right into Wagner, and then it just all dominoes down. Watch it. You'll see.
Yeah, I had friends at work today say they watched it, and they said we were, like Scott G says, we were in it still, even with a couple of fumbles. And then you're like, well, actually, it's only 11. We can come back from that. Mm-hmm. And then the fourth quarter came, and they were like, the floodgates just opened. It was just like, cheers. You know, just like, it wasn't like we gave up. I don't think we gave up. We just couldn't sustain it. When you're that far behind,
the worst
you start
part
making
is,
more mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, we scored a touchdown to make it 14. Oh, you're good. We scored a touchdown to make it 14-12, and you can see the momentum starting to swing. And then we give up a long touchdown drive. And, all right, it's an 8-point game. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you guys, but right before that fumble on the kickoff return, I just had the calm that Jaden's going to drive down and tie the game. I
was feeling, yeah. For me, I thought at halftime we were in an okay position because when they gave us the ball back, we had like 7 minutes to go before the half, or 5 minutes to go before the half, and I'm figuring, okay, we can drive this down there, score, and then we got to make a stop and stop them because they could double up after the half, and.
It's just a weird week, John, this week. You're right in what you're saying, because how am I Mr. Positive in our chat? You know, I'm never the most positive guy in our chat, and I'm like, look, we've got to believe it's going to, and I'm like you, Max. I'm thinking to myself, Jaden's on this, we're going to be okay. But I'll be honest with you, he looked off from the minute go.
No, Jaden
he did not look right.
Jaden I thought so. Jaden's the only one that looked
No. His first quarter, I thought, was I was like, the throws all over the spot. He didn't look himself. I thought he was nervous.
The thing that was weird to me, we threw the ball 21 times in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that.
Well, because we can't run the ball. We can't run the ball. Go ahead.
I mean, we're not a throwing team. We have to because we can't run the ball. But how many times, we see in past games, we have maybe 10 or 11 throws in the quarter, and then he has maybe 4 or 5 rushes, and then we have a few rushes up the middle for like 21 times in a quarter is awful. So,
well, I think that they've maybe trying to throw the Eagles off balance because we were protecting him rather well. I thought that the offensive line protected well in that first quarter. His passes weren't the greatest, but they were there, I thought. We had an 18 play drive, was it? Or 14 play drive?
Didn't look his usual 18. Didn't look his usual self is what I'm meaning by that, as in, like, how you look at him and you think the confidence is there, the footwork's there. He had a few off passes, as Scott G mentions, but we still drove the ball and still got 3 points. But I don't think we were as aggressive as we should have been at times yesterday as well, especially that first drive. At that first drive, you've got to go for it there. You've got to stick 7 on them there and then say, right, now you respond. And did they respond? Absolutely, they responded. But you're already down on the scoreboard after a big break from Barkley. And then you're the one chasing. And I think when we're the one who's chasing, we find it more and more difficult to do that. And because we haven't necessarily got as good a roster. Look, what am I talking shit for? We were beaten by a better team. It's as simple as that.
Well, yeah. We were, and I mean that's when it comes to their offense. Yeah, there's not enough. There's not enough people to match up on our defense to be able to cover what they've got. And the thing that was frustrating to me is watching our running game as opposed to their running game. And it's more than just a Brian Robinson versus Saquon Barkley. There's no contest in something like that. Derrick Henry's the only guy in the league, I think, that you could put next to Saquon Barkley, or maybe above him based on his past performances. But the fact of the matter is, our running game, and I thought yesterday illustrated this perfectly, it just goes into a knot in the middle of the fucking field. The Eagles, they run off tackle. They come running off tackle. They go bunching up into the middle of there, and what do you know? They bounce it off tackle, and there's a big fucking gap and a big fucking opening. We seem to only know how to do the dive play on first or second down with Brian Robinson up the middle, churn. And once again yesterday, he got some opportunities, but he ran right up Biadish's big fat ass. like 6 yards upfield. Yeah. I don't understand why our running game, if we're trying to go outside, we go all the way outside. We run a sweep for 15 yards before we even start to think about turning that motherfucker upfield. Yesterday, Robinson took the cutback lane in the first quarter, and I said, hey, look, Robinson took the cutback lane. Oh, my God, he got like 6 yards. But you watch the Eagles, those off-tackle runs, my God, they're so fucking wide open. They're so wide open. They can get the matchups that they want out there one-on-one blocks with ease, and we don't ever seem to want to even try that. Max, you look like you disagree.
To a degree, just in terms of, that's what you're basically saying is, why do we run up the middle where everybody is? And
no, it's not what I'm saying. That's all we do. We either go all the way to the outside or we go into the biggest glut of people we can find. We don't ever seem to do the quick hit off tackle, right or left.
Run off tackle.
What's that?
Brian Robinson's not a back that can run off tackle. He's a power back. Right.
All right, go ahead.
We don't have the personnel to do what you're wanting to do. And I get
we haven't got Jameer Gibbs. That's
you don't need Jameer Gibbs to run off tackle, for fuck's sake. It's only one more position over from the guard. It's just a matter of opening the hole up at the end of the line there and taking that cut route.
Robinson's the running back who's going to put his nose into it as opposed to looking for the backdoor cut. He doesn't have that ability.
He doesn't have any eyes.
That's what I'm saying is you can't run the Shanahan thing where you run to the left tackle and not have any eyes to look for the cutback lane.
It's not even a Shanahan thing. I mean, they ran straight up counter trade fucking
right. But
on us yesterday. I just straight up that kind of shit.
We don't have the back to do that.
See, I'll say this: there's no way that I'm going to buy that. It's not like left tackle or right tackle is like way the fuck over in the next town, and he's got to run a mile to get to it. It's just a simple change of the angle of the handoff, or it's a counter move that gets you over there, or it's a foot in the ground right behind the guard and a cut off to the tackle. It's not like he's got to catch a bus to get where he's got to make the play.
I get that. The thing that I'm saying though is he doesn't have the eyes for it. When he has the eyes for it, he's going to run you over. He doesn't have the eyes that he's going to beat someone to the corner. And when I say the corner, I don't mean the sideline. I mean the corner beyond the left tackle's left hip or the right tackle's right hip.
What I'm saying is,
we don't have the back for that unless it's Austin Eckler, but we can't run him.
They don't even they do the same plays with him. It's the same shit.
There's been in the last 6 weeks, it's been noticeable that with offensive line injuries, with everything else, we're not creating gaps either to make the run game work.
See, here's the thing about that. What I see now, if you tell me we don't have the back to do that, then I'm telling you that Brian Robinson is not a running back. He's a UPS driver. Because if you can't see the tackle hole because you don't have any fucking idea on how to turn your head a little bit or follow a goddamn blocking pattern, you don't belong in the NFL. And when we go into the middle of that line all the time, there's 5 offensive linemen in there. There's a tight end in there. There's probably another back in there. There's all 4 defensive linemen in there. There's 2 or 3 linebackers. And Robinson goes right into it. Eckler goes right into it. Just put your foot in the ground. Bounce it a little bit. And it's there.
Is it coaching?
It's a variety of all 3. I think it's a lack of personnel. I think it's the personnel we have isn't capable. I think it's the O-line that doesn't generate the holes outside. And it's just going to be a hurricane of just suck. The difference is you get one player difference, and you can make a difference. You get
the hole is there because everybody is clogged up in the middle. Like I said, there's like fucking 15 guys clogged up in the middle when we run the ball. A step to the outside, and I think we get 5-6 yards. Sorry.
No, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
So I'm just running. So I don't know. Hi, Shelly. How you doing? Our offensive line. No, Allegretti can't really push forward. We didn't get much push out of Scott. Biotish was having a problem all damn day with his eyes and getting punched in the face and all that other dirty shit that was going on. But I think that we aren't very creative in our run game. We're creative at the mesh point. We do all kinds of shit when we got guys crossing in front of Jaden and nobody knows who has the ball for a minute. But if it's Robinson, it's just going up the middle. And there's no other thing that they do with him other than that.
And the other thing, John,
it aggravates me.
To your point, though, as well, you have to look at the matchups at that level. So when we're in a championship game like we are, we're going against a very, very good defensive line.
Sure.
And the difference yesterday between for me, it's not about running back. We do need to draft a running back or get one from somewhere, definitely this off-season. But the biggest need for this team is an edge rusher, not just that can hit the quarterback, but one that can set the fucking edge. How many times yesterday are we watching that and saying, just set the edge? Just set the edge, and we can't do it because we've got tweeners or we've got tweaky players like a Fowler who's not so big but is getting sacks, or Frankie
we've got the
Lugo's
bridge
bursting
players.
through the
He
middle.
plays reckless.
We've got he does, and I don't think Armstrong's been the player we thought he was going to be. He's been a bit
He had a
he's been
decent game
underwhelming.
yesterday.
And
He's been.
I think he
this
actually
season.
played over what we expected out of him. I didn't
And
expect
that's
much out
the
of him
thing.
at all.
So not for a $20 million contract over 2 years, John. No,
I never paid attention.
Yeah,
to
but
that
when you look at
I
that
do.
though, you have to look at it in
Big
terms
money.
of not much
on,
in terms of today's game, in terms of the edge rush
I know.
market.
I know
But
what you mean.
the thing is, with all the guys we brought in from Dallas last year, those you can look at them more as culture setters. You know, that's
see.
the
Yeah.
that's the big reason why Wagner's here. That's why Dorrance Armstrong is here. That's why Biotis, came. They all want to set the tone that Quinn does. That's why they kind of gave them a little bit more money to come here. And it's the same thing we did with Rivera with Thomas Davis. Thomas Davis couldn't play,
Yeah, I know.
couldn't
He's the
cover a
coach on the field,
shoebox.
isn't he? Yeah.
Not even the coach on the field. It's just in the locker room. He knows what Rivera wants. These guys know what Quinn and Witt wants, so that's why they're here. He doesn't necessarily have to perform, but he has to be
if
able
you're
to
in the
show.
game, you got to perform.
And he
Yeah,
had
so
what,
Do
8
we have
sacks
to
on the season?
Do we have to ask the question about Joe Witt Jr. now?
I
No.
think
I know
so.
I know it was brought up yesterday on the post game, and I know he's got a look at the Jets this year. He's got an interview, but do we need to ask the question? Is it all about personnel, or is it about what he's inherited from previous? What is it? Because I think the back end of this team has done okay. It's just
I think it's too
the front
soon
seven's been
it's too
awful.
soon to start that question, considering
Okay.
this is it's a 12-5 team, and yes, there
Mm-hmm.
are holes, but you can't necessarily say the holes on defense are because of coaching.
I can say that the holes on defense
now
are usually
we're a
filled by
0-0
running backs
team,
that are going
but
for
yeah, I know
fucking
what you
100 and some odd yards per game on us. We cannot stop the run, and all year long we've been saying that we're not stopping the runs so we can sell out to stop the pass in the backfield rather than have hope St. Juice doesn't get burned down the field. All right, so. But here we are. I mean, in the playoffs, giving up 229 yards rushing. Joe Witt took a team. Somebody said this today. Y'all are crazy, man. Somebody said this guy took this team that was 31st last year, and he's got them at 16th this year. Well, I'm thinking, okay, but he took one of the most mismanaged, under fucking fed, unbelievably neglected defenses ever. Jack Del Rio absolutely was a joke with whatever he was trying to do here with no linebackers or anything. The second we signed our first linebacker, the day we brought in Nick Bellore, we got 100 times better than his fucking teams. By the way, Jack Del Rio, last seen asleep on a park bench, drunk and then under arrest. So what you're telling me is
that's
Joe
not where
Witt.
he's last seen. He's now the head coach of the of the European Football League Paris football team.
Oh, the Paris football team, the Parisians. What are they called? The Pussycats. Pussycats. Where's the Paris
Let
Pussycats?
me see here real quick. He is the head
hope
coach.
so. Cheese eating dirty surrender monkeys.
It's
But
it's
anyway.
even worse than the cheesy monks. It's the Musketeers.
The
Oh,
Musketeers.
of course it is. Of course it is. The
Oh,
fullback's
fuck.
called Lawrence. Hello.
Yeah. Come to the Musketeers game this week. Watch us play against the German Hun. The Bosch are
Wet
coming
onions
for
round our neck.
for the cupcakes. Yes, the Paris cupcakes will take the field. With head coach Jacques Del Rio. Look, what I'm saying about that is, what Witt did was take Del Rio's players, okay, the few that he kept, added some high-class, high-top players, man. Frankie Louvu, he adds Bobby Wagner, and then he brings in some culture setters, like you say. So he got better players, and they got halfway better. They cannot stop the run, and that has to be addressed. Our defensive tackles, what the fuck? We got a lot of money tied up down inside there, and even though John Allen, I thought, didn't have a bad game yesterday, these guys need to be able to stop some running backs, especially with the fact that the running game is resurging in the NFL. So I'm curious as to how we're going to work this offseason.
So
in terms of offense and defense.
This is how I spent my drive home. I think what's going to happen is we're going to have to get a younger middle linebacker. Wagner is the coach on the field, but he's 36.
He might stay another year.
He might stay a year, but what we need to have is a number 3 linebacker. We need to have either the right or the left, depending on which.
What you mean, like
Mr.
Jordan
Logic.
McGee, who's constantly injured?
Right. But you need to have someone who can be bona fide out there, who's able to swarm to the ball. The edge rushers can set the edge all day, but if that's going to open up a hole that the linebacker's supposed to fill, and there's no one there.
I think Max, they're not setting the edge. That's what I'm saying.
Right, but what I'm saying is, what I mean is, you can get someone to set the edge, but unless there's a backfill to fill that hole that you're creating, it's not going to do anything.
Right, because that's where they were running through. Those left tackle openings were right there. And they were doing it with chips. They were coming in off with the wide receivers in motion and then chipping at the outside edge there, and it was just wide open. Anywho, let's see. Where are we with our list of things that we're going to discuss here on the show?
Because I didn't even realize that he played, I can just say that Chris Paul was our highest-rated offensive lineman yesterday.
What did he do yesterday?
That's what I'm going to look at snap counts, because apparently he played.
What did he do? Was he actually on? I think I saw his big fat ass out there. And
Chris
when I say
Paul,
I think I saw his big fat ass, that's literally how I thought. That must be Chris Paul out there. There's
Chris
an ass
Paul
so fucking big that it's covering the screen.
They had 28 snaps yesterday.
Wow.
And he was our highest-rated offensive lineman at a grade of 68.3.
Honestly, I thought that the pass protection was pretty good. The Eagles got home a couple of times, but I thought overall, we kept mentioning it on our chat. He's got a good pocket. He's got a clean pocket. He's got a lot of time.
Yeah.
And they can cover downfield. That's a fact. But Ertz had 11 receptions, right? We had a couple of big catches out of Zacchaeus, and we just fucking turned the ball over, man.
That's the thing, is if you look at the timings of the turnovers,
they were terrible.
There
never is a good time to have one.
But what I mean is, we had a turnover. Let's see. The first fumble we had, we are driving. That's the kickoff. Where's the other one? Oh, it's 7-3, and we fumble the ball away. We're driving down the field. That's the De'Ami Brown.
Brown fumble.
The other one, it's 20-12. We just gave up a touchdown with the Marshawn Lattimore, whatever that ended up being, and we fumble away on the kickoff. And Jaden goes from having the ball, scoring 14-12, to being now down 27-12. And the last one, let's see, we are down 34-23 after forcing 2 straight punts. We could have made that a 34-31, 29-31 game. Made it an actual ball game, and we fumbled again.
Yeah.
The interception at the end, I don't even.
Yeah, that's. I'm not even counting.
See, I thought that one was key as well, because I thought we could have gotten back within 2 scores if we'd have gotten in at that point.
It was 48-23.
Well, then okay, 3 scores,
but
still,
it still
kept us in the game.
What I was going to say to you was, what's our next? Is our elephant in the room either referees or something else? What is it?
All right. Well, let's head for the elephant in the room. By the way,
because we're going to have to talk about them.
Let's see Scott's appearance today. Sorry, I got that.
Petroleum-based swine blood substitute.
Scott's appearance today, brought to you by Abner Woo's new I Can't Believe It's Not Black Pudding. Yes, Abner Woo Industries, makers of your favorite delicious artificial foods. Bloody British treat is made of 100% real petroleum-based pig blood substitute and enriched with vitamin Woo, so you know that it's healthy. That's right, moms. Abner Woo's I Can't Believe It's Not Black Pudding is now certified by most major medical associations as a primary source of petroleum-based pig blood substitute. And don't worry, Dad, each delicious pudding is 100% edible and approved for human consumption, so tuck in and enjoy another one. It will have you saying, I can't believe it's not black pudding. Okay. There you go. I think we're done making fun of British cuisine for the year. We'll have to find somebody else to pick on it. Who can we have from Zimbabwe on the show next year?
Here's a little funny thing for you, because I'm now looking at the Jack Del Rio-led Paris Musketeers.
Okay.
In another division, but in that same league, is the Rain Fire. They are head coached by
the Rhine Fire.
Rhine Fire.
Or is it
RHEIN?
Yeah, as in the Rhine Fire, which is the German team. Yeah, based
one
off
of
the
them,
River Rhine.
They are coached by one Jim Tomsula.
They are.
Okay. This is like the Europe. We should send better, but hey, y'all like Jerry Lewis, so we might as well send you this. Let's see. From yesterday, this is the tush push. You brought up the referees. They are the elephant in the room. So let me play our video for it. I'm off. I don't. The elephant in the room is that I'm bummed out and really don't feel like being my usual effusive self here on the podcast. All right, yes, the officiating. Now, before we begin, I am not in any way blaming this loss on the referees. All right,
no.
You don't give up 55 points because of the refs, but God damn it, NFL, this is a championship game. This is 2 championship games, and you motherfuckers can't get the most simple things right, or at least fair. The shot that they took of Mikey on the sidelines, the 15-yard fucking personal foul that gave them a first down, unbelievable, unfucking believable that they throw a flag on that. Even in a regular season game where they're supposed to not let them play, you don't throw that flag. Fucking A, man. He contacted him as soon as his foot hit the ground.
And what are you supposed to do? Because if he drops that foot a little short and lowers his shoulder, he's going to run right through him. It's not a quarterback. It's a running back. Hit the running back.
Well, go ahead.
In my eyes, the worst call of the game, in terms of on the play action, the pass interference in the end zone on Lattimore.
Yeah, that was bad.
Because, yes, he had his arm draped around his back, but nothing he did inhibited Smith from getting the ball.
No, and you see a million times that play with the guy with his arm draped around the back like that. And he's not holding him.
The second one, as Scott G just pointed out, thanks for stealing my thunder, they threw a deep ball to A.J. Brown.
Right.
Frankie Louvu's on a blitz. Well, we run a mid-blitz up the A-gaps on both sides. And Saquon, how do you miss that?
I don't know.
This is a championship game.
It is. But, at the same time.
The Devontae Smith feet. You know what I mean? On the sideline. That wasn't a call. That was never in. But why aren't we? We paid this guy, Dave Gardy, whatever he's called, all this money to be our eyes and ears in the fucking up there, talk about time, to talk about referees, all that sort of shit, when to throw the challenge flag, when not. Where is it?
Well,
where is it at that point?
With that Devontae Smith play, they ran tempo. We couldn't, there isn't enough time to look at it because of how close it is. And frankly, the angle from behind where you see his toe out, I didn't see until the third quarter.
Yeah, because that one was very close. But yeah, they did. They ran speed on that and got away with it.
And Ertz gets hit. Luke McCaffrey gets Darius Slay over his back on a third down pass. There are many different things you can point out aside from the obvious 10 thread that I'm hoping you have. I don't have the 10 thread.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
So, ML Football came out and posted a bunch of things about, it's the typical, hey, we lost the game, but here's all the things the officials did wrong. But how do you miss it?
Well, see, that's the thing. It always seems to boil down to the same fucking guys. The NFL should ban anybody named Hockley from ever entering an NFL stadium again. And I'm not fucking kidding, man. This guy's father was fucking up games. And I do remember this. It was a fucking Broncos game. It was in the goddamn playoffs, and it was a fumble. And he called... I don't know. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. He completely botched the call.
Cutler went to throw the ball and dropped it, and the ball landed at the 10-yard line.
Right.
But because they blew the whistle, they ruled it a fumble, even though the Chargers recovered the ball. Because the whistle was blown, they couldn't give the ball to the Chargers, so they marked the ball at the 10 for the Broncos. It was the most asinine thing.
It's Hockley. They insert themselves into the game. This kid, Sean Hockley, has been taught since he was a baby to be an obnoxious, involved, it's all about me, like my father, motherfucker. And every game you ever see him call, he inserts himself into the fucking game. Listen, you're going to sit there and say that I will award them a touchdown if you keep intentionally trying to stop their play. Fuck, what? Are you fucking kidding me?
Did you see the pool report?
No.
Because while we're talking,
I know he didn't stop and take any questions, did he?
He did. Let me find this. You keep talking.
All right, because look, you can't tell me that there's no other way to stop that play except to try to time it and come over the top and try to hit him before he gets down buried into it.
It has to be banned, this play.
So
I don't see how it's lined. I don't see how they
go to the rule and say it's got.
First off,
they're offside for a start, not the centre, but the guards are offside a lot of times.
Yeah, look at that.
There you go.
Yeah,
but look at this. I mean, it's
I don't see how this formation is even legal.
So here's the other thing. Wagner did go on the second one where Luvu flew over the top. You can see Wagner on the TV talking to the official. This isn't a legal formation. There's no line except Jurgens.
Right.
Now,
and the center's he's way over the ball.
Now, here's the thing. Yep. I have the pool report.
Okay.
So
let's hear it.
The pool report, if you don't know, it's the one way that officials are able to give answers in a press conference, and they can reject to do it. The sequence at the goal line with the QB sneaks, how is it determined that they were unfair acts by Commanders linebacker Frankie Luvu?
Right.
Answer. Simply put, a team cannot commit multiple fouls in an effort to prevent the score. So Luvu jumped the ball multiple times. That was when the warning came in. Again, if it's meant to prevent a score, we can essentially award the score.
Fucking cocksucker.
Now, wait, because next question, the Eagles had used hard counts before. Is that taken into consideration? He said, so in terms of a hard count, there's a play clock that prevents them from doing that too many times. With the defense, since we deem it as an effort to prevent the score, a repeated act, that's where the potential for rewarding the score comes in. So what you're saying is...
You can't play. You can't play defense.
You're making it... Hey,
you're not allowed to try to prevent the score.
You can't jump the snap because we're going to call it. But then at the same time, they have 40 seconds just to sit there, and then at 1 second...
right. And I mean, when Newton jumped in, that was just a mistake. There's no intent there. But shit, if you want to call this kind of shit, if they're at the 10-yard line and we're playing shenanigans like that, okay, I get that. But they're at the fucking they're this far from the goal line. You got to try to time it. Sean Hockley can go find the highest fucking building he can find and fuck himself right off of it. Right, Scott?
Agreed. I mean,
what's up, Twiz?
Thanks for being here, Twiz.
What's going on? Congratulations, sir.
Congrats, mate. Yeah, like we said before, you probably just dipped in now, Twiz. We were saying we're not blaming referees.
No, we're just talking about the overall bad officiating in the NFL.
We were beaten by the better side. That is, you can't give up 4 touchdowns. But on this play, we've got to ban this play, man. It's just simply unfair. When you read that pool report, you cannot stop. Well, you're just going to award them a touchdown. You're going to just not play defense and let them push it in anyway. Because what can you physically do to stop that? I thought we were playing. Well, I like rugby union, but clearly Mailata has brought this in from rugby union because it's effectively a maul in what I would watch in rugby. But it's just. I mean, what do you do if they are running a hard count? So if we're running a hard count, how are you meant to time that from
inside the one
over the line?
You can't.
That's where Hockley he loses credibility. This is inside
from that
inside
report,
the half mark. You got no choice. There is no time for you to make a decision at the snap. You got to try to time it. And as like you guys heard me say, when the first time he came in and he clocked Kurtz in the head, I'm like, fucking hey, get the personal foul, whatever. It's they're going to move the ball 4 inches.
Well,
take the personal foul.
They're not going to call a personal foul when Jordan Davis smacks Tyler Biadasz in the face, or when he gouges his eye.
That's fucking wild. I'm sorry. That I like Carter. I really rate him as a player. I probably think he's the best defensive tackle in the entire NFL. However, you lose respect yesterday. You can't be. I know chirping goes on. I get it. Biadasz got his own back by punching him in the balls.
Yeah, both of them.
It happens. But
they had a war.
You can't be. You cannot be punching people in the face and getting away with it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean the ref's got to be able to see something.
And then going, oh, you know what? I'm going to poke you in the eye. I mean, it's just fucking crazy. And to say we're going to award a touchdown to them if you carry on.
That's what I'm saying.
What are you meant to do? What are you meant to do in that situation?
That's the thing. He doesn't take into account the situation. Like I said, if it's the 10-yard line and a team is goofing around like that, trying to prevent them from scoring, if it's like 2nd down and 3 or 2nd 6, whatever it is, I can see it. But there is no place for the defense to go in that situation. The ball is literally this far from the goal line.
I would not be
the
surprised,
only choice
John.
you have to defend it, because look, this play can be defended. It's hard to do, but the only way you can defend it is to get a hold of Hurts before he gets buried down into that shit. Because once he's buried and his head is down and they can push on his ass,
But there's
he's
no
just
way
gonna
to get there unless you fly over the top.
right, and it's happened once or twice.
Or you
Dude, we did
submarine
it
it
to him
underneath.
last year and
Right,
caused a
you-
fumble down there.
We did, and Johnny Newton came
He
out
almost
with it.
fumbled again on one of those. He
On the
almost bobbled
second
that. I thought, oh my God, did we get another one like that?
So
But nah, the
But
stars were
because
on
do you
their
not
side
think
yesterday.
I would not be surprised if 31 NFL teams went to the rule change meeting with the owners and said this has to fucking stop.
Well,
Because we're not the only ones who are complaining about this. We're
I'm not
not the
complaining
only
about
ones
it.
who are complaining about it.
No,
So
I
I-
am.
I-
I'm
so
honest,
I-
I'm complaining about it. It's,
Nah.
it's
I
a
went-
bullshit rule.
I went and have done the research.
okay.
The palpably unfair act is an
Palpably,
NFL
notice, Jesse's not here when we say that word because we wouldn't have to explain it to him.
It's a rule in the NFL that has never actually been enforced. However, there have been several times where after the game, teams have either made a lawsuit or sent a complaint. The most recent one, the 2018 NFC Championship with the Rams and Saints.
Okay. Oh, with the pass
And
interference.
that was
That
what
didn't
the
get
Saints were complaining about, and that's what the lawsuit was. The most recent time it was warned during a game was in 2022 between the Bills and the Dolphins, where Bills fans are throwing snowballs onto the field at the Dolphins holder. The only time it has actually been enforced was not in the NFL, it was in college, and it was in 1954. It was enforced
1954 when Wizard
because
McGurk was fucking around on the line of scrimmage.
it was a Cotton Bowl game between Rice and Alabama where a Rice running back broke the sideline and was running down the field for a very long touchdown, and an Alabama linebacker jumped off the bench and tackled him. They
There's
deemed it a
film of this.
touchdown, but we're talking about something that isn't at the goal line.
Right. There's film
Like-
of that. There's film of, I think, Mike Tomlin elbowing a guy
tripping
as he was
someone.
running.
Mike Tomlin
he
didn't.
took- he had his
He
foot out. He
jumped
had
on the
his foot out,
field,
but he didn't-
but
Yes,
even still, that's not a palpably unfair act. That's a sideline infraction.
He elbowed that dude. He was running by and Mike Tomlin gave him the old shiver. Wham.
But
But
that is
yeah,
a
that-
sideline infraction.
That's the thing. Look, Roger, Bubala, you got to take this Sean Hocula guy, take him out to the fucking pier, tie a chain to his goddamn head, and throw him in the water. You can't have Hocules anywhere near the NFL. In fact, I would go so far as to say that anybody whose last name begins with HOC, ban them all. Don't take any chances. These people are bad for football.
So
Am I wrong in that? Am I being
thought he
over
was
the
bad.
top?
I thought he was bad for both sides as well. There was stuff that was missed.
There were
on
things
us as
we
well.
did that-
there was
yeah.
holds.
Well,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean, that
there
missed
were.
completely.
And I mean, frankly, there wasn't a penalty until the second quarter. That was the
Well,
weird thing.
they
for me
always
is-
let them play in the playoffs,
Right,
which,
but we're
okay, I'm
watching-
all right with
You're
that.
watching a hockey league
So-
game and you're expecting the.
So how
But
do-
when they make a
Now
call,
look,
I think one of the first calls was Mikey on the sidelines with
Yeah.
the unnecessary roughness. Go ahead, Scotty. You've been trying to make a point.
Jorin's going to go on. I get that between corners and wide receivers.
Sure.
But how on earth is that not offsetting penalties?
I don't
Please,
know. How
tell
to-
you ripped a guy's fucking helmet off his head, and you
and he
didn't
gets
get
called
a
because he's
flag?
hugging him because he's got no helmet in a fight and he doesn't want to get punched.
Oh, hang on a minute. Does a referee not turn around, or a side judge, or a back judge, or however many fucking judges we've got, or a million camera angles, and think to themselves, why has he got no helmet on?
In Sean Hocules' head, it's this. He took his helmet off to throw it at A.J. Brown. It's Sean Hockley. Don't expect sense.
But we
And,
need a
you know, it was
conversation
just as
about
bad
him
in the
as well.
fucking
We need
Chiefs
a
game.
conversation about Lattimore as well, man.
Not
That was a
me.
rough game yesterday. Now, I'm not saying it was a good. I'm not saying it's a bad trade, which a lot of people are freaking out on. I think it's still a good trade. But he
I still think so.
got in his head too much, and he.
I'll say
He's
this.
that.
A.J.
Talk,
Brown,
talk.
he's one of the top 5 wide receivers in the NFL. Probably
Oh,
top
100%.
easily.
100%.
Okay, he is a problem for anybody. He got him yesterday, and yesterday they lined him up 1-on-1 with Mikey, and that's just not going to work out. It wasn't as bad as when they tried it with Emmanuel Forbes, but Mikey's a rookie against a guy like that, and he's also given up about a foot in terms of height. So it's not a good matchup. But we're forced into that because Saquon Barkley, if you try to run any kind of fucking anybody back deep a little bit, he's going to eat you up. So it's pick your poison with them. And they had a good game yesterday. Everything was working.
That was what we were saying on Friday is, load the box to stop Saquon and make Hurts beat you.
And and he did. He made good throws.
And he did.
Hurts had a good game. He had 28 for 246 and a touchdown.
He ran a touchdown too, didn't he? He had like a 25-yard run.
He had 3 rushing touchdowns.
That's right. Well, yeah, 2 of them were the fucking they aren't rushing touchdowns. Those are falling touchdowns. They should have a whole new category. You fell into the end zone.
But,
that's it.
I mean,
thanks, Toys. I appreciate that. He's saying he thought he should be offsetting. Yeah, I agree. And you can stand by that. If it's offsetting, then fair enough. You take them both to the sideline and you have a go at them and say, "Stop being a fucking dickhead," and get your shit together and get back into the game.
Well,
then it's
ultimately.
done.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Not just oh well, we'll let that one ride, because that will then sit in Lattimore's head for on the next play, and that's what he did. He was constantly in. What he needs to think to himself is, okay, you beat me once. As soon as you get beaten as a corner, in your mind you're thinking to yourself, I'm the best corner there is in this game. You aren't beating me. That's what you need to be back at doing, and he wasn't yesterday, and that's what was lacking yesterday for me. Is he didn't seem to have. It was almost like the pressure got to him, and I think a lot of our team felt that. We looked nervous coming out. It was difficult, man.
It's possible. It's a big stage. They've never been on it before.
Yeah, of course it is. But we're in year 1 as well,
yeah.
So I'll take the positives out of that.
The thing about the fight, all right, ultimately it didn't mean anything. They went for 2 and didn't get it, so it was a pointless thing. It's just going to count against. Watch, they're going to find Lattimore for this too. You
100% they are. Yeah,
they're going to find
him. You don't think Frankie Louvy's not getting fined for unsportsmanlike or whatever? Yeah,
he will.
They ought to take Sean Hockley. Roger, baby, you got a helicopter. Take him up in it. Take him out over the Atlantic seaboard and throw him out. It's not hard.
On,
you can even make sure it works, because you saw Scarface, right? Right, we all saw Scarface. Use the helicopter base.
Speaking of the officiating, I think this was the Eckler fumble, but was the rule, because I couldn't hear the game. Was the rule that they recovered it and then Biadasz stole it from him after he was down, but they could see the clear recovery?
They saw the clear recovery, and when Biadasz ran into him to take it back, he touched him down, basically. I thought that was another one yesterday in the Bills game. It was too quick of a whistle.
But in the Packers game,
yeah,
when the Eagles and the Packers played, the same thing happened, and the ball got ripped out of the Packer guy, and the Eagles got the ball.
They were quick on those yesterday. Then I think one of the other fumbles that caused a bigger pileup. They whistled it way quick, and that was and Biadasz came walking out of the pile with the ball. That's the one you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's like
it is, but that when you look back at that on the angle, it's definitely a recovery by Phil.
Again, I couldn't hear it, so I couldn't see. I can't hear when the whistle is, but also I didn't know what they were trying to say. And again, it's just consistency.
Normally by now I'll watch this game back, but I ain't put myself through that again.
It's just consistency because it's the same thing that happened against Green Bay.
Welcome to the show, Twist. We're not fun. We're not done with Ed Hockley yet, or fucking Sean Hockley and his stupid father. That's an idea, Roger. You can make it a father-son episode. You could say, hey, let's go have a picnic, and then skewer both of their asses on a metal rod and stick them over a fire and slow turn them till they're done. Anyway, I don't like Sean Hockley at all.
You don't like a Hockley.
I don't. They insert themselves into the game, and that's the bad thing that I don't like about the fact that, because Philly beat the shit out of us yesterday, but we are forced to talk about how bad the officiating is in the NFL. Again, this is a championship game, and they just fuck things up so badly. And it was just as bad in the Chiefs and Bills game. Good God, how were they spotting the ball yet? They were like, the ball goes over here. That was ridiculous yesterday how they were doing that.
Wild. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right, let's see. What do we got? We got, that was Scott's sponsors.
Pats, are we in?
Hang on, let me go back over here and take a look at the list. We actually have an outline and shit for the show and all that. All right, things we liked and disliked. Obviously, we didn't like the officiating. Obviously, we didn't like Saquon Barkley running over our defense. We didn't like A.J. Brown getting all over our defense. We didn't like Dallas Goedert getting fucking passes all over our defense. We didn't like losing. What did you like? Was there anything in the game you liked? Go ahead, Max. You start us off. What'd you like?
Yeah, go, Max.
Any plays you saw that were pretty good?
Hey, the fake punt.
The fake punt.
Yeah. Hey, that's one thing I did like. One thing I did like is Tressway has got more yards in a championship game than Dak Prescott and Tony Romo combined.
Yes. That's right.
Thank you.
I mean,
Fuck
for
the
me,
Cowboys.
Fuck the Cowboys.
I don't think Jaden Daniels had a bad game.
No, I don't think he had a bad game. He had like 230 yards passing.
Very nervous. He was very nervous.
He had 255. But for me, once he got, like, before the game got out of hand, it was just the entire calm of Jaden's going to do it. Get the ball to him and he's going to do it. And like that's the thing that we're missing. Like we've just always not had that his teammates let him down 3 times.
Well, he threw one interception.
One thing I did.
Yeah, he threw a pick in the fourth quarter after we were already down by 25.
Yeah, well,
Zach Ertz had a good game.
I said on Friday that pardon me. I said on Friday that that's where I thought our man on a mission had to be, was going to be Zach Ertz and our underneath passing game, because we're not going to get much open down deep. And Ertz performed. I thought that he had a damn good game. We have 11 receptions, 104 yards, I think it was,
on 16 targets.
He says he doesn't want to retire, and I'm fine with that. You know what? You don't. I think I saw Disco say today that you don't want to build around 34, 35-year-old players. No, you don't. But they don't hurt your locker room any when they're as productive as that. And I'll stick with it. And anybody that wants to say, okay, well, let's just elevate Sanat now. Hey, look, man, beat the guy out. Beat the old man out. That's what you got to do. Beat the old man out. I like him. I'd like him to stick around. Let's see. Twist says, is Cliff staying another year? Kellen is interviewing for the Saints today. I don't know what he's really done to warrant a head coaching job. The
thing with Kellen Moore is it's not just this year. He did a lot when he was in Dallas, and then he went to L.A. to try and prove that he was not just a product of Mike McCarthy, and he teetered, but now he's proving his name again here in Philly. Yeah. With Cliff,
I think Kellen Moore's got a punchable
One
face.
thing I didn't like is now we know the fans have got a reputation. We get that. We understand that. It's the Millwall of the NFL. If you don't know who Millwall FC are, go and check them out. It's not a great environment to be, but there's a line that gets crossed at times, and surely, Twiz, you can do to this. Do fucking better, man. I'm not trying to tar people with the same.
Yeah, Twiz, you specifically.
That's right,
not
Twiz.
you specifically, but dude,
fucking shut up over there, buddy.
You gotta do better as fans. Banter during, I get that. That's totally fine, but don't put hands on people like Chris Bryant.
It's
not
unfortunate,
fucking right.
Yeah, especially somebody
Do you know
like
what I
Chris
mean?
Bryant. It's unfortunate. Well, for one, if you put hands on somebody like Chris Bryant, for one, that's a terrible thing to do. For two,
yeah, because
he was a Marine Corps. He could probably take you apart. Chris is a big dude, and he probably knows how to use every goddamn ounce of it. Look, that's a league-wide problem, and the only thing that I would say to any of you people is two things. Stop proving how bad your parents were at raising you, and hold your liquor, you fucking goddamn juveniles. Jesus Christ, you people drink like you're in high school. Well, that a little bit too much. Let me go start fat. Hold your liquor, you fucking idiots. You degenerate motherfuckers. What's the matter with you? You drink like a child. Fuck all.
One thing I did like was at the tailgate, both Redskins, Commanders fans, whatever was there, and Eagles fans
Lowski
all together.
How about the dead
shouting "fuck the Cowboys"?
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
Well, welcome to the show, there, only one. How about them Deadskins? He says, "I'll put up with that today. You know, you guys can talk your shit. You earned it. We have a reputation to maintain. Okay. I saw there's one video that's going around of this guy that gets his beanie stolen off his head. Which, okay, you got your beanie stolen off your head, but the rest of it is just guys running in front of him and going. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
what do you expect? I mean, honest to God, if I go to a football game and there's a bunch of assholes that want to run around and go in front of my face while I'm walking in the car, yeah, okay. Yeah, the guy lost his beanie. Nobody got shot, right? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Lowski. Is it Lowski? I don't know. But congratulations to the Eagles. Y'all outplayed us in every aspect of the football game. I can't believe I have to say this, but go Chiefs. God damn it. You see what you people make me do? You people in Philadelphia, not only do you put my team out of the fucking Super Bowl, but you make me have to root for the fucking Chiefs. Thanks.
Yeah, they did shoot a gun later. I heard that, Scott G. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, they tore up Main Street.
Jesse's here.
Oh, Jesse's here? Is he in the truck? There he is. What's going on, Jesse? Jesse driving home from his gig that he had today as a male stripper. Everything go all right? Did you do the cop today? Was it somebody's birthday?
No, I was the I was.
Oh, apparently it's a secret. I'll tell you a secret. I used to know one of those guys, and sometimes I used to go along with him to the party, and I'd push the button on his cassette deck. This was a weird fucking time in my life. This dude was a total fucking trip, and he used to take a goddamn ponytail tie and put it around. Man, I got to put this on first, and then he'd put on his little G-string thing and run out so it would swell up. I'd push the button and watch all these girls go stupid for a while, and then we'd get in the car and go party. Anyway, so Jesse, what do you think about the football game?
I mean, it was fucking shit. What do you think? I mean, it sucked.
Yes, it did.
Fucking sucked.
That's a great assessment.
It was a miserable showing and a little embarrassing. And so I had to hear it from the shit Eagles fans at work today. And yeah, so
okay. Well, you know, that's why I like to work from home. I don't have to hear it from anybody. So anyway, we're just about ready to do some butt pats and head smacks. You got anything specific you want to bring up and talk about since you're just now arriving on the show?
I still think we should move on from Joe Witt.
Okay.
That's about it. I mean, I have not been impressed with him all season long. And I definitely think that needs to be a discussion.
Yeah, I tend to agree. We talked about this earlier, and I mean, he took Jack Del Rio's completely neglected, awful defense and added better players, and they got better, but they still can't stop the run at all in any game against practically anybody. By the way, this is for everybody that's just joining us. Jesse Martin in the truck there as a man who's had nature documentaries that have been filmed in his beard. Welcome to the show, Jesse Martin. Even though you can't see him right now, I believe he's out probably burying a body in the park.
No, I had to put the phone down because I'm driving next to a cop. So.
Oh, all right, yeah, fuck him. Okay, roll the window down. Let's see if we can get you arrested. All right, so let's do some butt pats and head smacks. Let me get over here to my media assets and do the right thing. La 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 la. All right, there we go. Get out of here. All right. Ah!
Butt pat, attaboy, head smack.
Get out of here. And this is the kind of professionalism that you come to expect from the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I can barely even say it anymore. And I've just been drinking Pepsi. All right, Jesse, go first. You want to give us a butt pat on offense?
Yeah, no, I don't have any.
All right, Max, go ahead. Butt pat on offense?
Not really.
How about you, Scott? Butt pat on offense?
That's it.
I'm sure you gave it to Ertz, but I mean, nobody. I mean, even Jaden in the first half, something seemed off with him. It was just a poor showing.
Yeah, Max was saying the same thing. Scott was saying the same thing. I'm going to give one to Terry McLaurin because
why?
I love the touch. I thought that the touchdown play that he made. Hey, dude, it's my fucking butt pat. I'll touch whatever ass I want. And I thought that the touchdown that he had was a spark plug moment, and he didn't fumble the game away. I just thought that as a result of all of the other crap that was going on with the offense, he couldn't get himself going. But that was a nice damn touchdown that he made. That's what I liked. Butt pat for him. Because there ain't too many to go around on the offense. Anybody got any more? I'll give one halfway to the offensive line for pass protection. For the most part, I thought they did all right.
I want to say that Nick Allegretti graded a 10.
A 10?
A 10.
Look, how many sacks did Jaden take yesterday? And I'm not counting the one he ran out of bounds at the one, or with 1 yard to go. Two sacks? All right, so against the Eagles' defensive front, that's not a bad day. All right, you're going to give up one or two. I thought that they played all right. I thought that Jaden had time to throw, but you see that the Eagles take the things away that are downfield. So he had to keep going underneath the Ertz. He had to keep taking these out patterns. And I think that that's where the game was decided, but I'll still give it.
Twiz is just trolling now, damn it.
Who's trolling? The cop?
No, Twiz.
He said
Oh, what's
Eckler.
Twiz say? You can't be
Eckler game ball.
You know, we'd have given it to him, Twiz, but he dropped it on the fucking ground.
He said he's giving them a game ball from the Eagles' perspective. That's what he's doing. asshole.
I get where he's coming.
Well, see, for us, Twiz, that's called a head smack. We'll get there in a second.
We'll get there in a minute, yeah. Well, I thought it was interesting that on the broadcast they pointed out that Fangio had told them that when they fall down like that, punch at the ball because they're getting up with one hand, and that's exactly how it went down. That's exactly what they did. So, all right, let's see. We got any butt pats on defense at all?
No.
I mean, Lulu was probably the best performer.
Chin, I thought, was also not very good yesterday. The only one I'd even consider was maybe Jonathan Allen. But no, you're a defensive lineman on a game that gave up 229 yards rushing. You don't get anything.
Lulu was probably the best performer, but at the same time, it's just, what are you doing jumping over the line 4 times in a row?
Well,
him and Dorrance
that's for Frankie Louvu jumping over the top and popping Hurts in the nose. Because like I said, I remember I had a big argument with somebody about this because they told me I was a cruel asshole because the fucking Patriots had the ball at like the 3-yard line and a guy jumped. And I'm like, dude, if you jump, punch him in the fucking balls. Take the 15-yard penalty. Who cares? It's a 1.5 feet. They're going to move the ball. Fucking knock the shit out of him. If you got a free run at Tom Brady, I don't care if it's a penalty, if it's a 5-yard penalty or a 15-yard penalty. You're at the 3-yard line. Clobber his ass.
It's a palpably unfair act, and they'll award a touchdown.
Oh, fuck a Hockley. Really, fuck a Hockley. Any person whose name sounds like something I'm trying to get up out of my throat, honest to God. Hockley, you sound like a word that was invented in the 70s after somebody was down there. Hockley. God damn it. After a night at the disco. Hockley. Max doesn't get it. That's good. We don't want him to get it. Let's see. Kevin Ferrari. Okay, I can't read that right now. Miser. Just came here to say you guys have a bright future with that stud quarterback. Thanks for beating the Lions for us. Can't wait for next year. Go Birds. P.S. We're going to take Ertz back next year. Much love, you guys. What are you going to want Ertz for? You guys got Dallas Goedert. That dude's a beast. I don't know. Yeah, good luck. I can't root for the Eagles, but congratulations.
I'll do you a swap for Katera then if you want. I'll take him. Their other tight end's very good. So
Dallas, the last team not to reach the championship game. Yeah. All right. I think that may be a good idea.
Yeah, we did. That's what I'm saying, Twiz. Well, I was saying that was something that made me smile yesterday, even though, we're hated fan bases. We don't like each other. The one thing we did in the park in the tailgate was, we shouted Dallas sucks.
Just imagine. If Commanders fans and Eagles fans got together in the link to put Giants fans inside of dunk tanks filled with like super glue, and we could really have a good time, don't you think? Anyway.
As long as John Maris.
Giants are just going to be the doormat of the NFC East forever, and the Cowboys are right along with them. I mean, Brian fucking Schottenheimer.
Yeah.
Well, come on.
Tell you something. You got to save some money here and there, and let me tell you, I'm a competitor. I'm such a competitor that I didn't even feel like interviewing anybody. I just called the boy down the hallway and said, hey, after you're done taking a leak, come on in here. We'll make you the head coach. You got a big, long last name. Your goddamn daddy was a head coach. He never won a fucking thing, but how about we bring you in here? Fuck it. See what you can do with Dak.
Stephen Jones did say that they're going to be aggressive in free agency this year.
I told him to say that. I said, look, tell him you're going to be aggressive. This year, we was all in. This year, coming up this year, we're going all out. Last year, we was all in. Now we's all out.
The crazy thing about that is they still have to pay Parsons. So if you're aggressive in free agency, are you going to not pay Parsons? Or are you going to pay Parsons and just like...
Look, I got to be honest with you. I never know whether I should call him Mika or Micah. So if we go get somebody named Jim, I'm okay with that.
Parsons would be more than welcome over here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Stephen Jones, in his press conference today, put air quotes around the word drought that the Cowboys are in.
That the Cowboys are in? I wouldn't say it's a drought. I'm looking for that goddamn glory hole. Bring me that glory hole right now. I'm a maverick oil driller, and there's nothing I like better than finding myself some oil in the ground and then heading straight for the first truck stop I can find and flopping my dick through a hole in the wall. Let me tell you, it's just like going to the link. Anyway, enough with Jerry Jones for right now. All right, so butt pats on defense we were doing. I'm just going to give one to Frankie Louvu for continuing to try to go over the top and stop that fucking play. Fuck Sean Hockley and his stupid, we're just going to give him a touchdown if you keep doing it. Dickhead. Head smacks. Boy, we're going to have a good time with this one.
Where do we start?
Well, let's start on offense. Jesse, go ahead. So head smacks on offense.
I'm not going to take the low-hanging fruit. Y'all can have that. I'm going to give it to Terry McLaurin. You need to do more. You know, you are the star weapon on the show, and you got locked up the entire game except for one play. You got to do more in these big moments.
Yeah,
I was highly disappointed in Terry McLaurin yesterday.
I see your point. Max, what do you got?
Austin Eckler.
Yeah, just was not effective. The fumble was terrible, but honestly, the running game, he was not effective in that. He was not effective in any kind of passing attack whatsoever, and you're here to be that lightning, but you weren't. All right, Scotty, who you got? Head smacks on offense.
De'Ami Brown. Can't fumble. You can't fumble.
No, you can't fumble, and that play was shaping up to be rather nice too, man. Mm-hmm. But again, drive killers, and it gives them points. You just can't do that. I gave a butt pat to the whole offensive line for their pass blocking. I'm going to go ahead and give them a head smack for their atrocious run blocking that couldn't open. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, man. I could put a pile of those little fucking styrofoam peanuts that you get in the packages and shit in front of our offensive line, and they could not block a hole through it. I would guarantee you. If you gave them all leaf blowers, they wouldn't be able to get through that shit. So fuck all them with their run blocking. Our run game was terrible. Any more head smacks on offense?
Jeremy McNichols.
Special teams, again. But yeah, fumbling on special teams, that's the worst, man. You're trying to get back in the game. You gave up a score, and you give the ball back to them immediately like that. Why wasn't Eckler back there?
On the
Eckler was back there. He was the second returner, but for some reason
he was his second returner.
On that one,
yeah,
okay.
The momentum just because we got to 11 at that point before McNichols fumbled. Is that right? Am I remembering correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that just shot all the fucking air.
That was 8.
When
McNichols fumbled, it was 20-12 was the score.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that was killer. And I thought that McCaffrey looked a little nervous. He fumbled the opening kickoff.
I think he dropped it in the end zone, but it was McCaffrey on the field when Eckler fumbled.
That's what I thought.
Fumbled. It wasn't Eckler.
That's what I thought. But he also, we had a lot of guys running into our own guys yesterday, But I thought that McNichol had run into our own guy, but then it turns out that no, our own guy got run over by the goddamn Philadelphia Eagle, who then ran into McNichol. So
Fucking hell, we've got every Eagles fan.
Bobby says close game.
Fair play, mate. I'd eat crow too. I'd be there too. Yeah.
That's all right. I mean, they're gonna get fucking. Patrick Mahomes sucks off every fucking ref. So I mean, enjoy it while you can because you ain't winning the Super Bowl.
Oh, you're gonna feel this, especially. Well, you know what? Now Sean Hockley is now 9-0 as a Philadelphia Eagles referee. I wonder who's going to be the ref in the Super Bowl.
It's Torbert.
Is it Torbert?
It's Ron Torbert.
Ron Torbert. Yeah, it's Ron Torbert.
Good, because you know what I say. Look, I would take Ed Hockley and his son Sean to the beach. I would wrap them up in fucking in rope and chain, and then I would smear all kinds of fucking ground beef all over them and call the Sharks. Get rid of them. Don't let them anywhere near a football stadium.
Quite literally, I'm looking at the highlight of that fumble right now. The reason why McNichols got the ball is because it bounced right to him, and McCaffrey was the other one in the back.
Yeah, I thought we did have another fumble on a kickoff that we got back.
No, we only had 3.
Okay, I thought
we only had 3 fumbles. Well, I mean,
McCaffrey dropped. We had 4 total turnovers.
Well, one was
3 fumbles.
Jaden interception on it.
Yeah, and then they fucked around with the peekaboo celebration.
McCaffrey dropped the ball on the opening kickoff, but it wasn't a fumble because he never left the end zone.
Yeah,
that's right.
Right. No, yeah, I just thought he was nervous because he had 2 other returns where he just ran straight into people, and he's usually been pretty good about picking his way to the outside, and not yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and give a head smack on defense to our interior defensive line. Once again, just the defensive line in general, just getting gashed, just getting trashed and thrashed. You can't give up. I mean, I know it's Saquon Barkley, but you just can't keep saying, "Oh, it's just Saquon Barkley." You got to figure out a way to stop that motherfucker.
The first fucking play in the game. The first fucking play in the game.
Yep, and it was Fowler, but
It wasn't. Watch it because I watched it back. I watched it back after you told me that.
Yeah.
Fowler is in position to cover the hole. He falls down.
He spins.
Yes, he spins off of his block because A.J. Brown comes to crack him. He spins around A.J. Brown, and on the spin is when he falls. But if he could stay up, he's there to cover the hole.
He falls because Bobby Wagner runs right into him.
It's not to do with Bobby Wagner.
You watch.
I did. I did.
Right, well,
and I'm telling you to watch.
I'll tell you, I'll watch it again. But he spun out and he dominoed the whole fucking thing. If he'd have continued in through, Bobby Wagner would have been able to have a chance at play.
You're right, but Wagner's coming from the entire backside. Fowler's the one to make the play. He spins off of the chip of Brown, and he's there in the hole just on his face.
He's already passed that. Barkley's already passed it.
No.
All right, well, I'll watch it again. But
it's
not
a
right
stretch
now.
play. It's got to take more time than that.
I swear to God, go to your room.
Back in the right order now. That's fine.
Scotty, go next. Give me a head smack for defense.
I'm going to go with all edge rushes as well. The whole front seven was woeful. Just set a fucking edge.
Luvu played all right.
That's your job, man.
Yeah,
but he's
Luvu
not an
can't
edge
do
setter.
it all.
He's not there to set the edge, John.
No, he's not. He's there to attack.
Two ends who should be setting the edge. And we haven't got anybody who's able to do that. And hence why the run game is so poor. It just, it doesn't matter. We do. I'm making excuses here. We were just beaten in every facet last night.
We were outplayed by a better team.
Of course we were. Exactly right. And it just wasn't our time, unfortunately. But as you said, John, I was supremely confident going into this, thinking, you know what, not like arrogant about it, but I was calm. And I thought, this is going to be okay. But now it's like, shit.
All right, hold on 1 second here.
Sorry.
No, you go right ahead. I'm doing something else here. I'm putting in a.
You got anyone else, Jesse? You got anyone? If you're still there.
All right. I'm guessing you can see this now, right? All right. Now look.
Nope.
Here, look. Look who's spun around right here. Is that Dante Fowl? You can't see this?
Can't see it.
No.
No. All right. Hold on a second. Let me put it in.
You have to add it to screen. Add it to the.
All right. Share. How about now?
Yes, he's spun around, but look where
he is spun around,
okay.
And now watch. Here comes Wagner.
Now here comes. Wait a second. Let me talk.
Bam!
You're right, but look where Fowler is. Look where the hole that Barkley runs in. Right. It's
out here. Look where Barkley's not going here.
Barkley runs between where Brown and where the tackle make the block.
You know why?
Okay.
Because this whole thing falls down. Because instead of fucking shooting through here, he thinks he's got a bush to the outside. Watch him. He breaks this whole thing up. Fowler does. Inside spin, and then Wagner clunk, and then everybody goes down. So, I mean, you can call it what you want, but if he continues forward, Wagner's got that play. Instead, he spins back outside of it and runs right into Wagner. He's not in the hole at all. The hole is completely it's away from him. So, there we go. All right, well, oh boy. Jesse, you got any more head smacks for defense?
Joe Witt.
Yeah, called a bad game. Couldn't really do anything about it, but called a bad game. It's a season-long
Yeah,
it's a season-long problem.
Game. Yeah. I mean, having the corners play soft when they should be playing tight, calling zone in wrong situations. I mean, even the couch monkeys like myself can see that, It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Joe Witt. What about you, Scotty? Where are you at? Head smack, defense?
Defensive head smack. Lattimore. Calm your fucking self down, mate. You know what I mean? Just chill. Just chill a bit. It doesn't have to be ran at 100 mile an hour where they're getting in your face. It's ridiculous.
Max, you got any more specific head smacks for defense?
Just the entire unit.
There's really nothing else to say about it. There's all of them. So that's it. So we don't have any games coming up. What's that?
You had 55 hung on you. It's the whole unit.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it is. And even though we spent a good long time complaining about referees, it wasn't the reason for the loss in any way, shape, or form. It's just it's a problem in the league that these refs are as fucking incompetent as they are. And that, when every game ends and people are pointing at the referee. Now, granted, losers cry all the time. It's not fair, which is why I don't want to hear anything about any rules changes. I'm not crying about rules changes. You want to keep the tush push, keep the tush push. But you know what?
No.
There's got to be a way to stop it. But make them line it up properly. That's my problem. If they're not aligned properly.
Didn't we stop it twice? Didn't we stop it twice? And no,
we stopped it before.
Right, John. You're absolutely right, John. The alignment is illegal.
It's wrong. Yeah, it's not it's illegal formation. So make them line it up right, and if they can make it, they can make it. And you know what? Everybody can make it. I'm just never a one for change the rules because it didn't work out for me. I'm just for get rid of the fucking Sean Hocules of the world because they clearly have no idea what the fuck they're doing. And that's
what
just all there is to it.
Cereal-wise, Jesse?
What's that?
What we on
cereal-wise? We're in the grocery store. Nice.
Yeah, I'm getting something healthy.
Something healthy. What is that?
Oh, you're going for the Valley Crunch again, are you?
Yeah,
it's Nature Valley Crunchy. Nice.
Oh, there we go.
Only 21 calories in that bowl, but loads of grains and fucking
Acorns.
cement.
Yeah, it makes you regular.
I bet it does.
We kept Senior Bowl.
Scott G says, head smack for Jesse, who admitted that he microwaves a steak.
Hey, no, I heated up the steak. That's heating it up. It's not cooking it. Fucking cool.
So we've got the Senior Bowl. We've got the Combine. We've got
okay. Well, I need somewhat of an off season. So what are we doing this week? Are we going to be back on Friday to talk about what?
Yeah, let's talk about what we do with this team. Let's do an awards. Let's do an awards show.
Yeah,
superlatives and awards.
Yeah, let's do that, and then let's talk about what we can do with this 53 because there's lots of free agents pending. You know, you can save yourself $3 million on the cap if you cut Brian Robinson. Just saying.
And then we'll,
you know who can't cut Brian? Brian
Robinson.
Can't cut. He doesn't cut anywhere. That motherfucker goes straight to the biggest knot he can find.
I don't want that to happen, but
I think
it's a business.
I think a lot of people are going to be sad. I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think he should, to be honest with you. I think we need to work on the offensive line.
I think we need to send him to goddamn LASIK surgery. I'm going to go ahead and put my superlative in. Twisted's my favorite New Eagle fan. Nice to meet you, buddy. All right, so Friday we'll be back at 5:30 in the afternoon to discuss a little bit more of this off-season nonsense, and I'm trying to find my music here so we can play it out properly and sound like a professional showman.
After Friday, we'll probably go to a 2-week, 3-week schedule, something like that. We'll figure it out.
Thank you, Paul.
I'm going to take a little time off, man. I just got to recharge. But, it's been a brutal, long season. And, for me, telling all those jokes is hard work. I gotta say. Yeah. So anyway, Scotty and Scouse, you guys will be on with the 1 Point Safety Show Thursday at 3 p.m. here on the East Coast of the United States.
3 p.m. East. Yeah, live on YouTube. Go and give us a follow and a like. And also, if you're in here and you're watching, come across to YouTube and just like the video for the algorithm, please. Put a comment on, even if it's Go Birds. We don't care. It helps the algorithm. Yeah, Thank you all for being here, and good luck to the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I never thought I'd say them words, but I'll take that back now.
All right.
Cheers. Thanks, Twiz.
Trying to.
The Bleeding Burgundy Podcast is not responsible for anything this idiot just said.
Correct.
The Bleeding Burgundy Podcast is not responsible for anything this idiot just said. The Bleeding Burgundy Podcast.
All right. So we will see you all on Friday at 5:30. You will see Scott at 3 o'clock on Thursday because you should be turning in. And tomorrow you can download the Bunker Podcast and give a listen to Andy Burrows talk about how wonderful a season it was. We all know he is Mr. Optimism.
And we're all going to miss Jessy in the grocery store.
Yeah, Jesse's at the grocery store. So until next time.